Today we're doing lesson 16-2, classify quadrilaterals. And quadrilateral, that word, the prefix quad means four, so four-sided shapes. Draw any length line segment that will fit in the space below. The line segment can go in any direction, but it must be straight. Draw another line segment of any length that is parallel to the first one. Connect the ends of each line segment with line segments to make a closed four-sided figure. What does your shape look like? Can you classify it? Discuss your ideas. So we're going to draw a line segment and another line segment parallel, and we're going to connect them. I can draw a line segment, another line segment, and connect them. I could draw a line segment and a line segment and connect them. I could draw a line segment and a line segment and connect them. I've got lots of different four-sided shapes here. And for labeling purposes, I'm going to look at the side length, just like we did with the triangles. I'm going to notice on shape A, I have two sets of parallel sides, two different lengths. We call this a rectangle. And even though my drawings aren't great, I'm going to put a little box in there so the person that's looking at the drawing knows I intend to have a 90-degree angle in there. So this is called a rectangle. This guy in shape B has equal sides. We're going to call him a square. But he fits the rule for a rectangle too. Because the rule for a rectangle is two sets of parallel sides that are equal and forms a right angle. The rule for a square is four equal length sides, and the angles are right angles. And when we come over to C and D, C is what we call a trapezoid. So we have one set of parallel sides, and we don't have to have any right angles. This one actually has right angles, but you could draw a trapezoid that looks like this, assuming these two are parallel. So a trapezoid has one set of parallel sides, four-sided shape with one set of parallel sides. And this little guy, D, we call him a rhombus. He's kind of like a square that's been squished over. And he has two pairs of parallel sides, and all sides are supposed to be the same length. I'm drawing that little line through it so so you can see what I'm talking about. So today we're going to talk about quadrilaterals and review all the different names for them, which we'll do on the next page. So there's lots of vocabulary here, and you've got to learn the vocabulary. That's just the way it goes. If you don't know it, you need to memorize it. A trapezoid has one pair of parallel sides. A parallelogram has two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel and equal in length. A rectangle has four right angles. A rhombus has all sides the same length. A square has all sides the same length and right angles. And you notice a rhombus has no rules on the angles. So a square can be a rhombus. A square is a parallelogram. A square is a rectangle. And a square is a square. So a square can be in lots of different categories. A trapezoid is a special type of a parallelogram. A rectangle is a special type of a parallelogram. A rhombus is a special type of a parallelogram. And a square is a special type of a parallelogram. So lots of times shapes can have more than one name. How is a parallelogram different from a rhombus, and how are they the same? A parallelogram and a rhombus. How are they the same and how are they different? They both have two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel and equal in length. The rhombus has the same thing. The difference with the rhombus is each side is equal in length. So that's the difference. But technically, this side is parallel to that side. This side is parallel to that side. This side is parallel. That side is parallel. So rhombus is a special type of a parallelogram. Okay. Next page. Trying to get my little... Okay. How are a square and a rhombus alike? So you can always refer back to that page that we were just on. And how are they alike? They both have sides of equal length. Equal length. How is a trapezoid different from a parallelogram? A trapezoid has one pair of parallel sides. And again, you can look back at the definitions on the page before. Use as many names as possible to identify each polygon. And a polygon is a many-sided shape. Polygons have to have straight lines and they have to be closed. So that B is not a polygon, A is a polygon. A polygon can be goofy looking like that. That is a polygon. That is an irregular polygon. Irregular, we call it. You'll learn more about that in middle school. But it has to have, you can't have any openings. And a polygon also cannot have a bendy side. That is not considered a polygon because it has a side that it's not a straight line segment. So number 3, starting at the top of the, we can say it's a polygon. Number 3, polygon. Then we can say it's a quadrilateral because it's got 4 sides. We can call it a parallelogram because it has a set of parallel sides. We can call it a rectangle. We can call it a rhombus. And most specifically, we can call it a square. And that's all for number 3. How do you like that? Lots of different names. Number 4 doesn't have as many different names. 4 is going to be a quadrilateral. It's going to be a parallelogram. It's going to be a rectangle. And that's the most specific name for it. So the most specific name for 3 is a square. The most specific name for 4 is a rectangle. And we could call it, polygon, quadrilateral, blah, blah, blah. Number 5, we're going to call that a quadrilateral, 4-sided shape. It's also a parallelogram, set of parallel sides. It's a rhombus because it's got all sides are equal. And the specific name for that would be the rhombus. And for number 6, again, quadrilateral, parallelogram. And we just kind of stop there with that. 6 is just called a parallelogram. There's no special name for a rectangle that's kind of been pushed over a little bit. It's just called a general parallelogram. So there you go.